Hi guys, Candace here at CrossFit Blue Light, and joining me today on the infamous Blue Couch is Adam Johnson. You've probably seen him. We've been sharing a lot of stories. He has started a kettlebell class with us. It's every Tuesday and Thursday from 3 to 4 p.m. and it is free and open to the public. So you can have a CrossFit Blue Light membership, or you can just come by and stop in and join us for class. So Adam, make sure you say hi.
Hey everyone.
But before we kind of get into like what the class is, I just kind of wanted to ask you a few things. Like, what got you started with kettlebells? Like, what brought you to kettlebell training specifically?
So I've been a gym rat for the last 3 decades almost.
Mm-hmm.
In saying that, I was the kid that read Muscle and Fitness magazines. I knew how to bench, squat, deadlift. I wanted to lift heavy weights, big muscles, impress the women. All right.
Looking cool at the pool.
The result of that was lots of injuries.
Mm-hmm.
So I laid off of the main lift, the traditional lifting for a little while. I think Instagram, I saw a guy doing kettlebells. I went back to my gym. They had a 10 pounder and a 40 pounder. Kind of started experimenting.
Yeah.
And I realized that it was such a different modality than traditional lifts, traditional weights. Mm-hmm. And I fell in love with the concept of using the core muscles, using the upper, thoracic, involving so many joints with so many movements.
Mm-hmm.
I fell in love with the high intensity interval training.
Mm-hmm.
My shoulders, my hips, my back have rebounded from being that retired Army broken guy. Yeah. So the kettlebells, along with mobility and yoga, have given me a younger body. Yeah. At 41 years old, I am healthier and I move better than I did at 21 years old.
Yeah.
That's
awesome.
How I fell in love with kettlebells.
I love that. So now for us, you kind of have come in, you've started taking CrossFit classes with us. Yeah. Specifically, primarily we're a CrossFit gym. So how would you say that kettlebell training would be how would that fit into maybe a CrossFit style exercise or any kind of training really?
So first of all, I love CrossFit. I'm new to CrossFit. You guys have built a great community here.
Thank you.
It's a neighborly, friendly vibe, and everyone wants to help everyone. Yes. I love that. So that's new to me.
Yeah.
I'm loving the CrossFit community. With CrossFit, it's a lot of high intensity, a lot of explosive movements. What I like to point out with the kettlebells is that with that kettlebell and just the way it's built, the way it's shaped, I get a lot more movement both through the different planes of movement.
Yes.
So my body is twisting. I'm dropping my level. The load is changing parts to the side of my body. My body is always kind of balancing that kettlebell. So I get many more fine muscle recruitment, I feel, around my spine. As I said before, my lower back and my hips have rebounded from, being that Army guy with lower back problems, going to see the doctor. I didn't want to be on medication. So kettlebells, if it's not your main effort, which is not for everybody, it's a great supplement to whatever workout you have going on, because it's about your base, your core, and stability.
I agree. What I'd like to point out is Jeremy and I were talking about it the other day, and for me, so I injured my shoulder a year ago. I tore 2 muscles in my shoulder, and like really badly. So I had to do a lot of physical therapy, and I've had to really step back on some of the weights and kind of relearn movements and relearn to trust my shoulder. And what I can tell you is just in the classes that I've taken with the kettlebells, I'm learning that unilateral movement, but it's dynamic movement. Yes. So it's not just like with the kettle or the dumbbells where I'm doing like an overhead press or anything like that. There's still like the cleans, the snatches, even the different ways you have us doing swings, the contralateral work. Yes. So I'm incorporating that core, but I'm doing a lot of dynamic movements on the unilateral sides. And I have felt like that's been a huge kind of like confidence builder, even for me to translate into my CrossFit workouts. So I can see the benefit for me, and even if somebody's not injured, I can still see that you want to incorporate that individual strength, making sure you stay even on both sides. Yes. I could see some benefit for sure in that kettlebell training.
Absolutely.
So just to kind of thank you for bringing this to us, because I can see a lot of the benefits in that already.
Absolutely. With the kettlebells, you're going to have that load from all different angles. So instead of, traditional, a lot of CrossFit, we're pressing up, we're coming off the ground, we're very explosive forward. However, we're missing out getting that shoulder in the backside. We're missing out some of the raised benefits. We're missing out on some of the singular, unilateral explosive benefits.
Correct.
So I always point out, if kettlebells is not your main modality, it's a fantastic supplement to especially work on smaller muscles and especially joints.
Yes. And there's also a lot of benefits to the mobility work. You have us doing a lot of things. And again, just that unilateral mobility. So I'm a lot more flexible on my right side, my good side, versus what I like to call my Finding Nemo fin over here, where it just feels like I don't have quite the mobility. It takes, this side feels 41 and this side feels 25. So for me, to really get that full range of motion and a lot of the benefits of the kettlebell work that you have us do, I love that.
Absolutely.
On a personal level. And to kind of bring that back around, what can somebody expect from class? So what does your class structure look like? And what could they maybe see from if they come to class for the first time?
Yep. So our class, we're going to start out with mobility, as you stated. I'm all about getting not just our muscle stretch, but our joints ready for the movement, for the explosiveness. Then we'll go into a crawl, walk, run, build up. I like to, take the new kettlebell practitioner, or if you've been to 10 classes, still work through the very, very basics, working on that hinge, working on that core, keeping our chest high, our shoulder blades tucked back. I want to make the lifts as safe as possible so that we get the most volume and no injuries.
Yeah.
Yep. So we're going to crawl, walk, run, and we're going to work into either typically a hard sprint, 10 minutes, and we'll finish with a kettlebell complex. I like to provide variety, and it is meant to be built for the beginner, but still be challenging for the intermediate practitioner as well. I want to push you through your comfort zone. If it was easy, you're not going to progress as much. So we're going to start crawl, walk, run, and we may even sprint at the very end.
I like that. All right. And then to kind of add even more to that, we have a clinic on the schedule.
We do have a clinic coming up.
So March 29th, which is a Saturday at 10.
Yes.
And what could we expect? Because that's 2 hours, and the normal class for us is 1 hour. So what are we looking for as far as like the scope of the clinic?
So our normal class being 1 hour, that is definitely structured more of that quick crawl, walk, run, build up. With this 2 hour clinic, we're taking everything from ground zero. We're going to use some band work. We're going to use some unique ways to slow down the kettlebell movement. The swing, the clean, and the snatch are so dynamic. We have unique methods of slowing down so that the new practitioner can feel confident and comfortable in those movements. So we're gonna do our best to master the swing, the clean, and the snatch, because so many movements and complexes and so many benefits come from just those three. I could think of 100 variations for each. So we will master those three, and then after that, the sky's the limit.
I mean, you kind of answered a few of the other questions. I was going to say, who is this for? Is it for the beginner, for the advanced? But you covered all of that. What movements? And so, I guess to kind of talk a little bit about your coaching, which I really enjoy your coaching. I'm not the best athlete. I talk back a lot.
No,
I got
no,
never.
Your doppelganger.
Have there been any standout moments so far that you've had as a coach, or anything that you've noticed that you really enjoy about coaching your kettlebell classes?
Yes. So me up front, I'm a very new coach. My wife is my first student, and watching my wife, watching her progress, watching her build the confidence to surprise herself. My wife, the snatch, the clean, she can do it all. And it's not something that she was super into, because her love is yoga.
Oh, I do know that. And she's good at that.
She's really good at yoga. That's her passion. But watching my wife just continue to, raise her level of confidence and weight, it's the most rewarding to me, because I'm helping someone that's going to help other people. And that's what I'm about. Along with the personal the benefits that I've received, I will always brag that I feel better at 41 than I did at 21. And a lot of that goes on to the mobility, the kettlebells, the angles, the explosiveness, the core work, etc. I'm in love with what I do.
I love that. I think you're a great coach. I know that you said you're new, but you're not new to leadership.
Correct.
And you're not new to leading a group of people.
Correct.
As a former Green Beret, you've definitely been in a lot of leadership positions. So this might be maybe coaching the class and structuring the class is a little bit different, but I would by no means have considered you new to coaching in general outside of the fitness
I'll
world?
tell you what I love about the kettlebells and the coaching is that, yes, I've been in many leadership positions. I've been around the world teaching people a large scope of work. However, the kettlebells is truly organic to me.
Yeah.
We've learned this. We've built this. This is our heart, our time, our sweat. This is who we are, and we get to help people with our organic efforts.
I love that.
Me too.
I do love that. Okay, and just to kind of wrap a few things up with the clinic itself, how many people are you looking to have in that class?
I want to cap the class at 15 people. I want to make sure that I have enough. It's only one of me, but I want to be able to make sure that I'm available for everyone that's in the class. I want to be able to answer every question, but not have too much coming. And depending on how this goes, we'll look at the next class in a few months, maybe 6 months. We'll look at that. But I think 15 to come in, give me 2 hours of their time. I will make them an expert in the kettlebell swing, clean, and snatch. And hopefully we'll have them in here for the 1 hour
I love
classes.
that. Absolutely. Anything that you would say to somebody who's maybe on the fence about taking the class or taking the clinic?
Well, if you're on the fence about taking a class, the worst thing that can happen is you're going to be a little sweaty, get your heart rate up, and you may be a little bit stronger at the end. That's the worst thing that can happen.
Yeah.
As far as the clinic, it's 2 hours. It's free. Again, crawl, walk, run, build up. It's for everybody. If you've never swung a kettlebell, this is for you. If you have a snatch of 80 pounds, this is for you. You still can always improve your craft. No matter how good you are or how new you are, we can always improve. So this 2 hour event, I'm super excited for it. And 15 people. We will put the link in the details so you can sign up for that on March 29th. Yes.
It is on our StreamFit, guys. So if you go to March 29th on our StreamFit app, you can go ahead and register and secure your spot for that class. There will be a wait list, but if you guys want to go ahead and get on that way we can go ahead and make sure we have everything that we need for you guys to be here, have enough kettlebells, have all of that. And one thing I will say about Adam is I've personally taken his class. I love his class. I recommend it all the time. Both of my sons have taken it, and we've had different members of our gym take it. And there is something for everybody.